day. Welcome to News Express. The APC House of Representatives primaries across the South-South region have erupted into one of the biggest political controversies ahead of the 2027 general election, as allegations of imposition, disqualifications, manipulated consensus arrangements, and internal betrayal continue shaking the ruling party. From Rivers to Cross River, Delta to Bayelsa, the primaries exposed deep cracks inside the APC while also revealing the growing dominance of powerful political blocs battling for control ahead of 2027. But now, where was the political tension more explosive than in Rivers State? In what many party members now describe as complete takeover of the APC structure by loyalists of FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, allies of Governor Siminalayi Fubara were heavily sidelined during the primaries as Wike-aligned figures secured most of the major House of Representatives tickets across the states. The outcome immediately intensified the already bitter political war between both camps and strengthened perceptions that the battle for Rivers ahead of 2027 may become one of the fiercest political confrontations in Nigeria. At the center of the political storm was Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amaewhule, one of Wike's strongest political allies. Amaewhule successfully clinched the APC ticket for Obiakpo Federal Constituency after the primaries conducted across the 17 wards. His victory instantly became one of the biggest political statements from the exercise because of his central role in the prolonged Rivers political crisis involving Governor Fubara and Wike's loyalists inside the State Assembly. The emergence of Amaewhule is now being viewed as more than an ordinary primary victory. It is being interpreted as a major consolidation of Wike's political influence inside the APC structure in Rivers State. Since the fallout between Governor Fubara and Wike, Rivers politics has remained deeply divided between rival camps fighting for control of state institution party structures, lawmakers, and grassroots political networks. The APC primaries have now confirmed that the Wike camp remains highly organized and strategically aggressive ahead of 2027. Other major Wike loyalists also emerged successfully during the exercise. Blessing Amadi secured the APC ticket for Port Harcourt Federal Constituency to seek re-election, while Honorable Cyril Godwin positioned himself to fly the party's flag for Bonny and Degema Federal Constituency. Across multiple constituencies, aspirants linked politically to Wike dominated the process strongly, further tightening the former governor's grip over the party structure in Rivers. The APC screening process itself became one of the most controversial aspects of the primaries. 19 aspirants believed to be loyal to Wike secured clearance across the 13 federal constituencies, while 4 aspirants, including 7 lawmakers associated with Governor Fubara, were disqualified completely. Among those disqualified were John Azubike Opara, Anderson Allison Ibike, Awaji Inombek Abiante, and Boma Goodhealth, a serving member representing Asari Toro Akokotoro Federal Constituency. The disqualifications immediately triggered accusations that the process was deliberately designed to weaken Governor Fubara's political camp ahead of the next election cycle. Critics inside the party argued that the screening exercise was manipulated heavily to favor one political bloc while systematically eliminating perceived opponents. The controversy deepened further after reports emerged that about 65 House of Assembly aspirants believed to be sympathetic to Governor Fubara had also been disqualified earlier, creating widespread anger among censors of the APC in Rivers State. The tension has already started producing political consequences. A House of Assembly aspirant and youth leader, Leborsi Yamabana, publicly announced his resignation from the APC after the primaries, describing the screening process as fundamentally flawed and unfair. His departure immediately highlighted growing dissatisfaction among party members who now believe the APC structure in Rivers is becoming increasingly controlled by one dominant political camp. Despite the adoption of direct primaries officially, many party members claim consensus arrangements quietly determine outcomes in several constituencies. Security around the APC secretariat in Port Harcourt was extremely tight throughout the exercise, with heavy police deployments used to prevent possible disruptions as tensions continued rising among aggrieved aspirants and supporters. Meanwhile, in Delta State, the APC primaries produced a mixture of political continuity and major upsets. House of Representative member Ehiatek Shenu Ibori, daughter of former Delta Governor James Ibori, secured victory in Itope Federal Constituency. Francis Wave also retained dominance in Ugele South, Ugele North, and Udo Federal Constituency, while Toma Eriyotomi emerged victorious in Warri Federal Constituency. One of the biggest political shocks in Delta came from Bomadi Patani Federal Constituency, where Honorable Basil Ganagana defeated Nicholas Mutu, the longest-serving member of the House of Representatives. Mutu's defeat immediately attracted national attention because of his long-standing political influence inside Delta politics. Governor Sheriff Oborevore praised the peaceful conduct of the primaries across the state after casting his vote in Ope local government area. The governor described the process as orderly and successful despite the tension surrounding some contests. In Bayelsa State, the APC primaries were largely peaceful and orderly compared to the controversies unfolding elsewhere in the region. At Ekpe was in Yenegua local government area, party members turned out early, while the exercise reportedly proceeded smoothly. Incumbent lawmaker Oboki Ofoji appeared strongly positioned as results continued emerging from different wards. Some party members even commended the transparency of the process and described it as one of the calmest APC exercises in recent times. Governor Doye Diri also participated in the process as Obuku Ofoji secured unanimous endorsements in Sampo and Kalama ward. Diri attributed the peaceful atmosphere to growing unity inside the APC in Bayelsa ahead of the next general elections. Cross River descended into controversy and outrage. Aggrieved aspirants described the APC primaries in the state as a charade and an embarrassment to democracy after allegations emerged that results were announced in certain areas before electoral materials even arrived. Several National Assembly aspirants openly rejected the exercise and accused party leaders of violating both party guidelines and the Electoral Act. Godwin Ofiono, an aspirant for Ogaji and Yala Federal Constituency, complained that he neither voted nor saw electoral materials in his ward before results were suddenly declared. Emil Iyang, another aspirant for Akampa by Federal Constituency, also rejected the process entirely and insisted no proper stakeholders meeting was held before consensus candidates were imposed. Across several wards in Cross River, party members reportedly waited for hours without seeing officials or electoral materials arrival, further strengthening accusations that outcomes had already been predetermined before voting even started. Meanwhile, Edo State experienced one of the smoothest APC primary exercises in the region. Reports from the state's local governments indicated a relatively calm and coordinated process, with candidates backed by the party leadership emerging successfully. In Akoko, Edo Federal Constituency, Oladele Bankole Balogun secured victory with 3,368 votes, while other candidates also emerged smoothly across Oredo, Ovia, and Isako constituency. Across the South-South region, however, one major political reality has become impossible to ignore. The APC primaries expose the growing influence of powerful political blocs capable of determining candidate selection through structure, alliance, and internal dominance. In some states, consensus arrangements and allied control prevailed quietly. In others, protest, disqualifications, and allegations of manipulation created open rebellion inside the party. And with many aggrieved aspirants already threatening lawsuits, defections, and political retaliation, the ruling party may soon face an even larger internal battle as the road to 2027 becomes increasingly tense nationwide. That's all for now on News Express, and to our amazing viewers, kindly like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm Chidera Esom. Thank you for watching. Do have a beautiful day.